I watch tons of videos where they're explaining how the Newtonian physics and quantum mechanics don't add up and all the inconsistencies. And then my brain breaks 15 minutes into an hour-long video and I just stare for 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's that like soft-spoken science man that Woody turned me on to probably 2 months ago, where you're like, he goes on Rogan sometimes and he's kind of like a Neil deGrasse Tyson, but seems to actually know shit. And so he would be on there being like, and the thing about our understanding of physics is it's an incredible thing when it comes to terrestrial objects and things like this. We can understand the movement and such. He's always like smiling. He just is fucking all about this shit. And then he's like,
hear the smile.
The extent of our knowledge there, you either take it up and you scale it up to stars and quasars, black holes, or you make it small, and it's totally useless. And it's like, well, fuck, man. Like, so now we need 3 types of physics.
You actually nailed that pretty well. Yeah, you did that really well.
Dude.
Because as a kid.
That was really good.
As a kid, they showed us the atoms. You know, in one class, they're showing us what an atom looks like. And the other class, they're showing us what the solar system and the galaxy and the universe looks like. And I'm like, oh, shit. Everything is just fractals. It's just, we're just changing the size. But no. That would have been too simple. That's how I know there's no God. He'd have made it simple. He wouldn't have needed to make it some other thing. It would have all just worked on the same system.
No, if I were God, it would be about this complicated, because I would treat it like Bitcoin, where like I wouldn't want to see all of my creation discover everything super rapidly and then have nothing to nowhere to go from there. I'd want every incremental thing to get harder and harder, so you'd have better viewing.
Wait, better viewing?
So you could like see them be like, oh, they just figured fire out. Okay. Oh, but every node of the Bitcoin
doing it
is
for audience retention. You don't want the show to jump the start too early.
No. It's got to stay good. I'm not sure
I want you to be God.
I'd be the kind of God. I wouldn't have a Game of Thrones universe.
Every time I watch a video about the nitty gritty of the internals of an atom, it often ends with them being like, but nobody knows for sure. We don't know. You know, do they even exist? There's a video called "Do Protons Really Exist?" And I'm like, what the fuck? How can you? They either do or they don't. Why aren't we sure?
Protons? Now we're not sure about protons? Oh, and then the balls on some of these physicists to be like, we don't know if these things exist, but guess what? There's also maybe something infinitely smaller in there too. Quarks.
Oh, for sure. It's like, all right. And what are they made out of? Like when you look at what the Planck scale is, someone explained the Planck scale in a video the other day. I think it's the smallest measurement unit of measurement, a Planck. I wish I could remember how they phrased it. It's incomprehensibly small. It's just shockingly small. They don't know anything. I wish we lived in a time where they did know the stuff. And they would the video just knew, and it wasn't full of ambiguities and but no one really knows. It's like, fuck, I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that stuff is cool. But
born just in time for World War III, though, so we got that going for us. I just love those weapons of death and destruction. I wish we had a worthy enemy for them, and not some people.
No, you don't.
No, deserving enemy. I wish there was some fucking aliens. Dude, the day the aliens come is the day we stop worrying about Iran and Israel and fucking Ukraine and Russia, and everybody goes, wait, there's green cocksuckers wanting to come down here and raise a ruckus? We'll worry about this Christianity, Judaism thing later. Islam, you're with us too. Come on, everybody. The Buddhists, they're chipping in. Everybody's coming, and it's going to be solidified. It'll be a fucking one. That's how you get world peace, is a common enemy. That's what we need.
That's how we get those Sentinelese guys to fucking contribute.
This is the plot.
They jumped in too. We need inept alien invaders. They've been flying here on a generational ship for 3,000 years, and it's going bad. They didn't bring enough food or whatever. and when they show up, they're all fucking low proteined. They're all weak, and we fuck them up. That's what we need.
Hear me out. They're very sensitive to water.
They hate it. It burns them like acid.
And we have a failed baseball player on our side.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Classes.
All that was caused
by... We're thrown out with super soakers. Just
Darlak, you did the atmospheric check, correct? Yes.
All right, we're good to go, everybody.
You asked me to, didn't you? It certainly did.
Yeah, that ocean,
5,000-year trip.
that's liquid methane oceans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know, probably.
But as far as from a technological standpoint, I don't know, Stephen Hawking, a couple other people are always very leery about the SETI projects, things like that, because the vast distances that exist, like any spacefaring civilization that could reach here would presumably have worked out wormholes or some other dimensional travel. Like, just, it's not a question of just firing up the spaceship and hauling ass. And like that, we would be like bacteria to them. Like, they would be so advanced. Like, the idea that they always, they're here for our water, they're here for some mineral. Like, they would have worked out, matter on a level that they could just synthesize any molecule that they needed, make more water, make more gold, whatever it is.
Yeah, they won't need material. They would either want our like planet that would like suit their needs, because even with the James Webb, we haven't found anything that's quite like us, like a rocky planet within the habitable zone that's the right size with a magnetic field, with the right atmosphere, with the right ingredients, that's not some hellscape. We haven't found one, and all they do is look. So maybe they want that, or maybe they want us. Maybe they want us for some reason, because we are like, stardust turned into consciousness.
Exactly. Maybe they just wanted as like pets. Like, we'd all just be like hamsters.
Oh, we'd be the best pets. Please get a nice, like, submissive Korean boy. That's a good pet right there.
I was thinking more like an ant
that.
farm, right? You just put us there, then before long, log cabins pop up, and then we make some cities.
They probably make us fight.
Yeah,
maybe
they'd make us all do war, because to them that would just be like a fun, silly little battle.
Yeah, but even if we're ants to them, I think we'll be interesting ants. We have entire teams of scientists in areas of field of study, or fields of study, where people look at ants. You know what I mean? They're blown away by ants. I don't like when I hear astrophysicists or futurists or whatever say that. They're like, oh, they wouldn't care about us. Really? How do you know? How do you know it's not just us and them in the entire universe that are conscious, smart people? They would be incredibly interested in us, even if we're retarded to them. If we went spacefaring and we found a planet full of ants, it would be amazing to us. We'd be, oh my God, space ants! I want some.
It would be the new pet for the holidays for sure. But yeah, that the whole Fermi paradox of why haven't we heard anything? Why haven't we seen anything? Could be that we're not interested enough, but also, I read something once that like the gravitational levels that hold Earth in a sustainable orbit for carbon-based life forms, whatever, like the variance goes down to like the fourth power of, if it was plus or minus just that little bit, we would be either too cold, too hot. Like, all the different Goldilocks zone type things that happen to make our planet survivable for life as we know it anyway, like, are so rare and so specific that it is quite possible that maybe we are the only ones in the Milky Way.
It can't be too big. It can't be too big because the gravity won't allow for certain kinds of evolution to take place. It can't be too small because then it won't have an iron core, so it won't have a magnetosphere to protect it from solar rays that would radiate any kind of bacteria for your building blocks of life. It can't be too close. It can't be too far. It's just any number of things. Although I'm real fascinated with those ice moons out in the Jovian system and around Saturn. There's life in there. I would bet anything that there are little wormy things living under that ice. I just know there are.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, they found enough extreme bacteria here that live in sulfur vents,
feed off radiation.
Or under lakes and things, and frozen under the ice in Antarctica. That would be pretty wild. Like, I love that concept, and I just want somebody to land something on there and drill down and find something. That would be amazing.
Well, Trump cut our budget, so not this decade.
Yeah, not this time around. But
not any blue plants, unfortunately. Wish they were. That'd be prettier.
It would be. Why don't our scientists get on that? How come none of that USAID money went to cool plant colors?
I think it's in star systems where it's a different kind of star that gives off more ultraviolet light. The plants would be blue there instead of green. Something about the chlorophyll and the way plants work.
Well, I wouldn't want all of them blue.
They'd all be blue.
Okay.
Dogs
I
would
don't
love it.
know. I need to see it. I need to compare my blue versus green. I need to be there for a week because I like new stuff at first.
You need to be on fucking some horrible moon.
Welcome to Zidatu.
A trillion miles from here. Or I guess a trillion miles isn't even very far. Light
No.
probably does that in a, lickety split.
I don't know. Trillion so much anything.
That's true. I don't know how.
Depends a lot. Depends a lot. 186,000 miles per second, and then into a trillion. That just still take a while.
Yeah. A trillion is one of those numbers that if I were to do that math on my PC right now, I'd have to like double check the amount of zeros I put in. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. One too few. Add another.
I really do. You think if we don't blow ourselves up, I hope there is a future where there's that tourist level of space travel. Like maybe not to another star system, but like to go see Jupiter. I hope that like you could get on a cruise to Jupiter and you'd fly past it and you'd look at it and then it'd be back. It'd be like a 6-month cruise or something. I hope that's in the future. I really do.
That would be cool. And you know what's going to be even weirder is like 30 years after that, when it's no longer like a Titanic sort of group of people on the cruise wearing suits and smoking cigars and like playing classy poker. It's like fights breaking out.
like trash when can afford to go to Jupiter.
When a bunch of like West Virginians can afford to get on there.
I got the Groupon.
Yeah, I got a Groupon.
Fix your O2. Fix your O2.
Okay,
What?
Kyle. It doesn't take 6 months to get to Jupiter. It currently takes 6 years. Would you be interested in that cruise?
No.
sucks.
Well, I'm talking about a future where like we can do
I know,
it in 6 months. Yeah.
I understood what you were saying, but I was just like, all right, so if with infinite money, you could do it in 6 years, maybe.
Oh, with
Yeah,
infinite
that's
money,
too
you could
much
do it
time.
way faster than that. Like we could go fast if we wanted to, and can cut that trip down. That nobody wants to though.
Once you've been on a cruise for like a
Too
week,
expensive.
it's like I'm about ready. like
And
6
keep in
years.
mind that's an open air. Go out into the sunny, fresh sea air. Get pussy, gamble, eat delicious food.
Yeah.
Fucking what's that shuffleboard shit when you push the
Yeah.
you got swimming pools, multiple decks, beautiful women. Did I say pussy? You stop at islands along the way and you still get bored of that after 2 weeks. Now imagine it's the cold deadness of space in an aluminum,
Dude, like
aluminum
Dave.
can with nothing to smell but Taylor's farts. Do you know how they
It'd be
wash
rough.
clothes in space?
I know.
They don't?
They wear them until they are rotten, and then they throw them out of the ship to be burnt up in the atmosphere.
So I need 6 years of clothes.
Well, they're gonna have to come up with something different for a 6-year trip, Taylor.
Oh
We're
my
gonna be
goodness.
naked.
It's like, how was your trip? And it's like awful. I got
Filthy.
hammered and made a fool of myself on day 4 in front of all the blackjack dealers. And so, so I couldn't go back to that section of the boat for the next half decade. That sucks. Yeah, I would not want to be on a cruise for 6 years
No,
going to
no, but
Jupiter. There's
feel
no
like
way it would pay off after 6 years. It would be remarkable. But 6
Oh, by the way, I've
years?
already doubled it because unless you're not coming
you gotta
back.
come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Double
who's
the
to say
speed,
it
I
doesn't
meant to
take
say.
longer to come back? You know, you're planning. This
You're right,
around.
Kyle. Yeah, like they timed it so that they'd get there as quickly as possible. They found it at the short points. That's not going to line up for the way
In
back.
6 years from
Yeah.
now, how far is Jupiter from Earth? You know, it'd be very important.
you know how people get left behind? It's like they get off at a stop, in Portugal, and then they miss
Mhm.
the they get back on checkpoint,
it's
and now they
hilarious.
have to have flight. Imagine you oversleep on Europa. Oh no! Now I'm here for a long time. Look at
The Martian.
Yeah, that would suck. I would want to
But-
take a cruise into space. I would want to wait until like decades into them doing it until they've got all the king,